The Dominion warship Celestial Fang hung in orbit above Earth like a predator circling wounded prey. Its hull stretched 3 kilometers of obsidian alloy, bristling with plasma cannons that had reduced a dozen civilizations to ash. Commander Zareth stood on the bridge. All 4 of his armored limbs crossed in satisfaction. This primitive world will fall before the day ends. Their delegates arrived shortly to discuss surrender terms. His second officer clicked her mandibles nervously. Commander, the intelligence reports suggest what? Zareth's voice dripped with contempt. That these weak, soft-skinned creatures pose a threat? They barely reached their own moon a century ago. We have conquered galaxies. The airlock hissed open and 2 humans stepped aboard. The male, Ryan, wore a simple gray suit that seemed absurdly inadequate for a military negotiation. The female, Maya, carried only a slim datapad. Neither appeared armed. Neither appeared afraid. "Welcome aboard," Zareth said, his translator rendering his words into their primitive language. "I am pleased you've come to accept the inevitable." Maya smiled, a gesture Zareth's cultural database labeled as friendly. How odd. "We're here to talk, Commander. As we always prefer to do, talk." Zareth gestured to the viewport where Earth's blue marble turned peacefully below. "Your world is surrounded. 40 of our battle groups blockade every orbital approach. You have 300 vessels. We have 5,000. This is not a negotiation. This is a courtesy before annexation." Ryan sat down without being invited, leaning back as if they were discussing weather patterns. "Commander, how many species has the Dominion conquered?" 73, Zareth replied proudly. "Each wiser than you, each more advanced, and each now serving the Dominion's glory. And how many times have you encountered humanity?" "This is our first encounter." Zareth narrowed his eyes. "Why does this matter?" Maya tapped her datapad. "It matters because you're operating under a dangerous assumption. You see our small fleet, our young space program, our diplomatic overtures, and you think weakness. Are you suggesting otherwise?" Zareth laughed, a harsh grinding sound. "Your weapons are kinetic projectiles, primitive. Your vessels lack gravitational shielding. We were being polite," Ryan interrupted quietly. "There's a difference you don't understand yet." The commander's amusement faded. "Explain." Maya stood walking to the viewport. "Humanity spent 10,000 years fighting ourselves. We mastered warfare before we mastered fire. We split atoms before we reached orbit. When we finally made it to space, do you know what we did? Explored?" Zareth ventured. "We weaponized it," Ryan said. "Every single advance. We couldn't help ourselves. It's in our nature. But when we finally detected other civilizations, we made a choice. We decided to be better, to try diplomacy first, to seem harmless." Zareth felt a tremor of uncertainty. "You're bluffing. Your scans show what we wanted you to see," Maya said softly. She tapped her datapad again. "Tell me, Commander, how many orbital defense platforms did your sensors detect around Earth?" 43. We have 4,372. They're coated in metamaterial that absorbs active scans. We've been listening to your communications since you entered our solar system. Your encryption is adequate for other species." Ryan stood now, his casual demeanor evaporating. "Those 300 vessels you detected? They're cargo haulers we repurposed for show. Our actual military fleet operates from stealth positions throughout the asteroid belt. Would you like to know how many ships that is, Commander?" Zareth's mandibles clicked in agitation. "You're lying." "Computer," Maya said calmly. "Decloak Delta Formation." The Celestial Fang's proximity alarms shrieked. Zareth spun to his tactical display and felt his blood crystallize. Surrounding his entire blockade, appearing from nowhere, were thousands of human warships. Each one smaller than his vessels, but there were so many. And their weapons, antimatter torpedoes, Ryan explained conversationally. "We figured out how to stabilize them 3 decades ago. Each ship carries enough firepower to vaporize your flagship. We have 8,000 vessels in Delta Formation alone. We have 3 more formations in reserve." "This is impossible," Zareth whispered. "Our intelligence indicated—" "We fed your intelligence exactly what we wanted you to know," Maya said. "Every civilization you've conquered was genuinely less advanced than you. We're not. We've simply been trying very hard to solve problems without violence. It's an experiment of ours. A test to see if we could evolve past our nature." Ryan moved closer to Zareth. "But you just threatened our homeworld." You threaten 7 billion human lives, and that, Commander, is where our politeness ends. Zareth found his voice. If you attack, the Dominion will send— Nothing, Maya interrupted. Because if one Dominion ship enters our solar system after today, we'll retrofit every cargo hauler, every passenger liner, every mining vessel with our military technology, and we'll bring war to your empire. Not conquest. Humans don't want your worlds. We'll simply dismantle every military asset you possess, then we'll leave you to rebuild, without the ability to threaten anyone else. The bridge was silent except for the alarm system still screaming about the human fleet that surrounded them. You have a choice, Commander, Ryan said quietly. Withdraw now. Tell your superiors that humanity wishes to remain neutral and left alone. We'll even provide you with defensive technology as a gesture of good faith, protection against other aggressors. All we ask is that you leave us in peace, and if we refuse, Maya met his gaze steadily, then you'll discover why humanity spent 10,000 years perfecting warfare before we learned to be kind. We really were trying to be better. Please don't make us prove we never forgot how to be worse. Zareth looked at the tactical display, at the impossible fleet, at these two humans who seemed more dangerous standing still than his warriors did in battle armor. I will convey your terms, he managed. Good, Ryan said, his easy smile returning. We do prefer talking. We always will. But it's important that the galaxy understands we're not weak. We're not helpless. We've just been polite. Maya headed toward the airlock, then paused. Oh, and Commander? Those other 73 species you conquered? We've been in contact with their resistance movements. If you don't change your ways, it won't just be humanity you'll face. Think about it. As the humans departed and the Celestial Fang began its retreat, Zareth understood with terrible clarity that the Dominion had just encountered something unprecedented in their conquests. A species that had chosen mercy as strength, not adopted it out of weakness, and those, he realized, were the most dangerous beings in the galaxy.